Hello students, today is extremely cold, so make sure that you fetch a jersey and you wear something warm. So let's begin our tutorial on sets, standard form and number bases. So the first question is root 45 plus root 28 minus root 75. Remember, I told you that sets we can perform operation like addition, subtraction, and multiplication on sets. We can also perform operation on numbers that are in standard form, and we can perform operations on numbers that are in different bases. So let's perform the addition and subtraction operation on numbers that are in set form. So 45 can be expressed as root 9 multiplied by 5 plus square root 28 can be expressed as 9 multiplied by 3, and 75 can be 25 multiplied by 3. So the square root sign is distributive. Let's distribute it. Root 9 multiplied by root 5 plus root 9 multiplied by root 3 minus root 25 multiplied by root 3. Remember, from our order of operation, we begin with the multiplication. We begin with the roots, then the multiplication. Root 9 is going to give us 3 multiplied by root 5 plus 3 multiplied by root 3 minus 5, 25 is 5, multiplied by 3. So here we remove the multiplication sign, 3 root 5 plus 3 root 3 minus 5 root 3. So we move on. Here we have root 3 and here we have root 3. These are common factors. So we are going to remove root 3 from the brackets and we are going to operate on 3 and 5. But here is root 5, so it remains like that. So we have 3 root 5 plus root 3, put a bracket here, 3 minus 5. Then we have 3 root 5 plus root 3. 3 minus 5, we're going to remain with minus 2. So minus 2 is going to multiply root 3. We're going to remain with 3 root 5 minus 2 root 3. This is going to be our answer. That's how you perform operations on sets. So let's move on to number 2. This tutorial is going to be a little bit longer. It's going to be a little bit longer. So we have 2 root 12 plus 3 root 48 minus root 150. So you're going to change this into set form. So you're going to have 2, then you put a bracket here. You need to change this one into set form. So root 12 is 4 multiplied by 3. Then you put the bracket, close the bracket. Then you have 3, open another bracket. So 48 is 16 multiplied by 3. Then you close the bracket, minus 150 is 25 multiplied by 6. Then you close the bracket. Here, let's distribute the square root sign. Let's distribute the square root sign. Root 3, then you close the bracket. Then 16. Then you have 16 multiplied by root 3 minus root 25 multiplied, let's close the bracket here, root 25 multiplied by root 6. Then let's perform the operation on roots. Then you're going to have 2. Then root 4 is going to be 2 multiplied by root 3. Then plus 3. Remember, this is a bracket. Then 4, root 16 is 4. 4 multiply root 3 minus root 25 is 5 minus 5 times root 6. Then we remove the brackets. That's going to be 4 multiplied by root 3 plus 3 times 4, that's going to be 12 multiplied by root 3 minus 5 multiplied by root 6. Then we remove the multiplication sign. We have 4 root 3 plus 12 root 3 minus 5 root 6. So these ones have the same root 3. We can remove root 3 from the bracket. We have 4 plus 12 minus 5 root 6. So 4 plus 12, that's going to be 16 root 3 minus 5 root 6. This is going to be our answer. So make sure that when you are doing these sums, you do not do an arithmetic mistakes on operations. Make sure that you follow the logic. Let's move on to the next question. Remember, I told you that standard form is usually used for bigger numbers, measurements of distance of planets from each other. So here is a question of standard form. The Sun, Earth, and Mars are in a straight line. It is given that Earth is 2.496 times 10 to the power 6 kilometers from the Sun. This is the distance from the Sun to the Earth. And Mars is 2.279 times 10 to the power 8 kilometers. This is the distance from the Sun to Mars. Write down 1.496 times 10 to the power 8 in ordinary form. So 1.496 times 10 to the power 8. This is in standard form. This is in standard form. You need to write it in ordinary form. So since this is 10 to the power 8, which means you are going to multiply this. Let's write it. 1.496 multiplied by number 1 with 8 zeros. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You need to multiply this. So when you multiply, you start with 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then you multiply 1 times 6, 6, 1 times 9, 9, 1 times 4, 4, 1 times 1, that's 1. Then you count how many numbers are there before the 0. 1, 2, 3. Then you count 1, 2, 3. You put your comma here. And don't forget the units. The units, never forget to put your units. So let's move on to the next question. Find in standard form the distance from Mars to Earth. Find in standard form the distance from Mars to Earth. So the distance, we are given the distance from the Sun to Earth. We are given the distance from the Sun to Mars. So you can subtract the distance from the Sun to Mars minus the distance from the Sun to Earth. Then you remain with the distance from Earth to Mars. So let's calculate. Firstly, the distance from the Sun to Mars, you have it as 2.279 times 10 to the power 8. Then the distance from the Sun to Earth, is given as 3.496 times 10 to the power 6. So you can see that these powers are different. Before we begin calculating these numbers, we need to make sure that these powers are the same, which means 6 need to move 2 units upwards, which means our comma is going to move 2 places. So that our power can move 2 units up. So this will be 0. This will be, when you're going to do the subtraction, the distance from the Sun to Mars, which is 2.27900, minus, this one is going to be 0.0349346. Remember that all this, it's going to be times 10 to the power 8. So let's do our subtraction. Borrow a 1 here, 4, this one becomes 10. Borrow another 1, this one becomes 5. 0 here, that's 4. And 7 minus this, that's another 4. 2 minus that, that's 2. Put our comma here, that's 2. So our answer is going to be 2.24404 times 10 to the power 8 times 10 to the power 8 kilometers. That's going to be our distance. That's going to be our distance. So let's move on to the next, the last segment, number basis. So remember, this is a very important point. If you are asked to do addition or subtraction on number basis, make sure that you write the number line of the base, especially when they cross over, when they repeat. Remember, in base 10, you say 8, 9, here. You begin again, 10, 11, 12. You need to write where the base crossover or repeats. So let's do the question. So you are given a sum in base 8. I always write my number line. 1, 2. The number line for base 8 begins at 0. So I write my number line first. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You do not have a 9 in it. A 9 in base 8. You do not have a 9, so you have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So this is the most important part that I need. So you have 765 base 8 minus 567 base 8. We need to perform subtraction. So 5 is less than 7. So since it's base 8, we borrow a 8. We do not borrow 10. We borrow 8 from this one. So if we borrow in 8, so 8, 5 plus 8, the 8 that we have borrowed, we are going to have 6. We're going to count 8 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is going to be 14. This number, when we have borrowed in 8, it's going to be 14. Then we subtract 7. Let's move 7 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here we subtract 7 steps. So here we are going to remain with 6. Since we have borrowed, this one is going to become 7. So you see how I made this using my number line. It's very simple when you're using the number line. Even when they become complex, it's very simple. So let's borrow another one. Let's borrow another 8. Let's borrow another 8. So you start from 6. You go 8 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we are subtracting 7 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You subtract another 7 steps. You remain with 7. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you remain with 7 here. Since you've borrowed, this one becomes 6, then 7 minus 6, that becomes 1, base 8. So that's how I perform my operations on base. You can try this method even in base 5 or in base 2. Try this method with any other base. So let's do the last question, which is 4, 4, 4 base 5, 21 base 5. You are told to add these two. So as usual, I write my number line, which is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There is no 5 in base 5. So 4 plus 1, 4 plus 1, that's 10. 1. You see how I write my numbers? So 4, the next number, if we add another unit, it's going to be 10. So 0, carry 1. 4 here, 5, 6, 7. So 4, we are going to add 3 units. 1, 2, 3. So this is going to be 2, carry 1. You see? So this one is going to be 5, which is 10. 0, carry 1. This is our answer. So we are going to have 10, 20 is 5. That's how I work my numbers in base 5. So you can even try this method in base 2 using the number line. Make sure that you know how to draw the number line and you can use that method. So the next topic that you are going to be doing is accuracy and limits to accuracy. That's the next topic that we're going to be looking at. Then after that, we are going to move on to set notations. Thank you.